Well, good afternoon, campers. This is my first video. I'm just beginning this process of starting to communicate with my friends. So I usually do it on WhatsApp, but I decided to do it on YouTube. Why not? And to actually speak to people rather than just send messages. There you go. Anyway, here I am. My name's Peter, and I live in the Algarve, down in a place called Pradelouche. I arrived here about 17 years ago. I just left England and jumped in the car, hitched on a caravan and started driving. I'd never been driving in Europe before. I'd never towed a caravan across to Europe before. And the adventure started there. In fact, it started at the port as I was embarking, because I suddenly realised I was on my own and I had no idea how I was going to get directions. So I decided to stop and pick up something to give me some idea of where I was and where I was going. And that's how it all started. And basically, I travelled through Spain. And, well, actually, it's a funny story. I was travelling through Spain, and this was about 2 o'clock at night. And I pulled into this service station, and I went in to have a coffee. And I said to the girl behind the bar, I said, look, anywhere around here I could sleep for the night. And she looked at me a bit weird, and she said, well, why don't you use your caravan? Ah, I thought, there's a good thought. I hadn't thought of that. So I drove the caravan in the car round to the area that you park up with lorries and the stuff, and parked next to this lorry and jumped into bed. All was well. I woke up in the morning about 7 o'clock, and I went to open the door, it wouldn't open. So I thought, what the heck? Well, another lorry had pulled in next to me. So I was hedged between the two lorries. And, well, I couldn't do anything, could I? I didn't know anybody. I couldn't yell out. I just had to wait for one of them to move. Well, of course, these guys were there for most of the morning. And then one of them moved. It was on the wrong side of the caravan. Anyway, long story short, eventually I managed to extract myself and head back down the road towards Portugal. More to follow. Okay, guys.